Congratulations on your Shorty Award win. We're so excited for you. Michael, how does it feel to be crowned as one of the best in social and digital?
Um, feels great. Feels great to be recognized. I think the best way to describe it is, like when you're watching the Oscars and someone that you're expecting, like one of the bigger names to win, Brad Pitt, Meryl Streep, but then someone that you've never heard of wins from a movie that you've never seen, and you're like, who the hell is that? I feel like I'm the person that won and the person watching, right? I really didn't think that we were gonna win. We were up against arguably the biggest campaign of 2019 with Popeyes and the Chicken Wars. So just to be nominated is exciting, but to be able to win and get the audience honor was it was amazing.
Brandon, why are the Shorty Awards important to your brand?
Well, this Mike and I started the agency. We're coming on to 3 years now in July, and this is the first year that we've actually submitted anything at all. So for us, it's a huge win, especially because this is actually the first project that we had brought on our creative director, Jonathan Morphy, at that time, and literally he started the weekend after Thanksgiving, and this was the first project we threw on his lap. Which the client, they knocked on our door and they were like, "Hey, we need you guys to help us with this," and it was like in a matter of days that we were already moving on this. So it's very interesting that it's our very first project we all got a chance to collaborate with, and that we've been starting to get recognition and really being recognized for all the love and energy and effort that we put into these projects.
So oftentimes ads try really hard to communicate what the brand is. They're constantly stating, we are something, we are this. And this ad does just the opposite. You're saying, we are not a factory. So why go the complete opposite direction?
Yeah, I mean, when we were brought the task, the undertaking was that the client wanted to change the name. They felt that factory didn't really resonate with what they were doing as a brand, and they really weren't a cookie cutter, restaurant, right? They were making handcrafted burgers, and every single burger was different. Everything was made with love. It wasn't just like a quick, factory, like, let's get food out. So that was one of the main reasons that they wanted to make a change, and they were in the midst of planning for expansion. And so that's why they wanted to simplify the name. A lot of people already called the brand PINCHO, so it just made sense to drop the factory. And we were tapped to come up with a great idea to help launch that.
Mike, I was shocked to hear that the total media spend was $891 and you reached over a million Miamians via TV, radio, and social media. What were you thinking about in the ideation phase? How were you thinking about your audience?
Well, this was a campaign that it couldn't be sponsored, right? Like it either had to be organic and it had to really catch on, um, or it wasn't going to work. So it was a little nerve wracking in that aspect because we had to really make sure that this was something that people can connect with. It's believable, which is actually the reason why we started it at the first store that we started it in, mostly because that location is where the co-founders were born and raised, but also um, Hialeah has a stigma to it where this would be something that would happen there. And that actually was one of the biggest reasons why a lot of the influencers and a lot of the media started really pushing it. And it took a life of its own after that.
So, how long were you guys sort of in on the hoax until people realized that this was a campaign? Because I feel like you almost may feel guilty for a little while.
So yes, we felt a little guilty, but we also knew that we weren't trying to deceive, and we were going to come out with the truth anyways, pretty soon. Um, And just based off the comments, which is really what's giving us the sentiment of how everyone is reacting to it, it was very positive. Already towards the third post, people started catching on, and we had a little bit more fun with it, knowing that we're coming to an end. And then just a few days later, we just came out and said it. The campaign actually, it was a total of 7 days. So it felt like an eternity, but it was only 7 days.
Brandon, in the outset of this, did you know this was going to gain steam the way it did? You know how sometimes, like, I talk to people in film and they're like, I read the script and I just knew we had a hit.
Yeah, so it's funny because like when we had like several different ideas on how we were going to tackle it and how we were going to roll it out, and this kind of was the one that everybody had the general agreement on, that they were like, okay, we think this one's going to work. And I think Mike and I were the ones that were like, man, this is like, we've got something here. This is going to be something. And I remember our creative director, he's like, guys, this is great, but I want to bring you down to the real world, and let's see what happens, right? He was kind of, and then once the campaign started and we just started seeing the results and the numbers, we were like, oh my God, this is actually happening how we were, dreaming and hoping that it would actually roll out. So it was awesome to see it all unfold.
I will say this, I was very nervous before we actually posted the very first one. And like, how it took me like about 2 minutes to figure out, like, am I going to really like upload this? Is this really going to happen? I had like a semi midlife crisis, and then I was like, no, let's do it. And we went forward. So pretty excited.
Michael, what was the reaction like from viewers when they found out that this was a campaign?
There were some people that were angry, some people that felt that, that we had to see them. But the majority of the people loved the way that this story was told. And I knew that we were going to have some people that liked it, some people that didn't like it, obviously. But it was very gratifying to know that people enjoyed the way that we decided to tell them that our name was changing. And overall, the people's reactions and the press that came from there, like, that was all reassuring, knowing that we'd made the right choice.
Well, huge congratulations. This was like the little train that could, in my mind. And just such a feat for both of you. So congrats from the Shorty Awards, and we hope to see you back next year.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And just to add on to that, it's not just us here. It's definitely, this was like an entire team effort, and we want to thank everybody on the team as well for coming together and consistently putting out badass work like this.
Awesome.